right? So this was the 230th anniversary of the plotting and the planning of the Haitian Revolution. I think this is when they had killed the pig and all of that. This is the Bookman meeting, right? So I was like, right? Let me do what I always do, right? I'm going to go to the gematria immediately, right? Because, of course, the first thing people is going to say is heart, which equals 44. And I'm like, okay, I'm here for that conversation, But then I heard, spirit always is in the back of my mind having a conversation with me. That's the cosmos having a combo. And it was like, how come DR never get hit? They on the same island. I'm like, what type of heart energy just hits one part of the island? Because they were saying that surrounding Caribbean islands were affected. I'm like, what is it, like a seesaw? You just jump on one part, and then, because it's on a tectonic plate, Haiti is very much situated between tectonic plates, right? So I'm like, what type of energies, weapons is these people working with where it just hits one side and it don't hit the other? So I went and I looked up 230, right? And this is something I'm going to say that a lot of people are going to, maybe not agree with. It's going to be controversial. And I'm okay with that because I don't mean to hurt nobody's feelings, right? And again, I don't know nothing. I don't know more than you either. I'm just telling you with my forensic, first minute investigative journalism yielded me when I ran it through the numbers. So when I ran 230 through the gematria, the first word that popped up was plot. I said, okay, there goes a connection. Because this is the 230th anniversary of them plotting and planning for the revolution. Right? Now, I had come across some information many, many, many years ago. Okay? When I was dealing with these African traditional systems, right? And one of my Babalaos was telling me the story about that day that they were plotting. He said they made a pact, right? And he was explaining to me the entities that they made this pact with, right? These were some very dark entities, okay? That are located, if he will, according to what he was telling me, in that region, in that water, at the bottom, right? Again, don't castigate me for this, because even in that pantheon, Olokun, who is the god of that pantheon, resides at the bottom of the ocean. Right? These were some different entities, though. These were Mayombe entities that made the pact. Those entities have a price that has to be paid. I don't know what the price is. Right? I don't know the name of those entities either. And if I did, I would not even say it on live. Okay? But one has to continuously ask themselves, do you think that a pact can be made with spirits? Because that can't even be up to argument. You know that they did that. And you know that the pact was successful. They delivered on their end. Look at the results, though. Right? So before you go and run always and blame outside forces, which is what people are just primed to do, where's going to be the responsibility factor about the soul contracts that we make and these pacts that we make? Because this is the shit that's going on in this community right now. All of this bad magic, all of this defunct magic that motherfuckers have been participating in, right? These entities are now calling and crawling back. And I'm surrounded by people that I'm seeing that are possessed. Right? Facts. The possession in this community is crazy.
It's at an all-time high.
It's at an all-time high. Right? Yeah. And it's a macro situation because the whole country is going through a level of possession because of that juice. It has turned the body politic, right? Or if you look at the country as a body, it's turned inside out now because the genomic mapping has been altered and interfered. So anytime that you create a schism like 9/11 is, if you look at, again, the body politic as a cosmic egg, that cosmic egg got cracked. when it gets cracked, something leaks out, but something is inserted in. In 9/11, it was psychotraumatic, right? Fear is what was inserted in that egg. Where did they start in 9/11? Right in New York. See something, say something. Right? They turned neighbors into snitches. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yo, if you see something that you expect to be radical, right? Snitch on your neighbor. We got a check for you. Where are we at right now? House Resolution 666 passed by Bobby Rush. Is that not the same thing that they put into? Was that not the same as contract tracing? Is that the same thing that you think is not coming in the fall and the winter when they going door to door? They're going to get the call first. Yo, who do you suspect? Ain't got that thing. Right? They just put them on a terror list. Do you not? You don't identify and see what you're seeing out here? So let's go and see what does 230 also mean. 230 also meant God is hidden. What does Amin Ra mean?
Hidden God.
All right then. I'm going to leave it alone, right? Because again, nobody wants to hear any conversation that's dealing with responsibility, right? They want to blame the boogeyman. The boogeyman period was over. 2020 was all about responsibility. Ross Ben told you that when he did his phenomenal Great Conjunction lecture in November 2019. You can still go to YouTube and see it. The first conjunction on January 12th was all about restoring responsibility. If you were going to be the heirs of the throne, melanated, Moorish, carbonated black people, right? If you were going to be the heirs of the throne, just like we was talking about in hip hop, if you are going to be the heirs of the throne and finally ascend to that vacancy, it can't be done without you taking responsibility. How are you going to run your empire with no responsibility? Right? We haven't even decided what we're going to do with the interlopers, with the traitors. You feel me? You can't fight a revolution amongst them. They're going to sell you out. These are the same people just waiting for the checks to get cut right now to sell your babies out. We ain't dealt with nothing. Everybody's infighting and picking at one another. And there's no concentration collectively being made towards the op. Feel me? A whole lot of entertainment, though. So that's what my rendering and my reading came back with, right? A pact was made 230 years ago, and it's been a continuous payments. But now they want it. Now, okay, it serves larger agendas, right? Of course, people was online talking about iridium and the mountain and this and that. So there's political things that are interfered as well. But these societies, right, and the secret societies that run the government are called cryptocracies. Look it up, right? It's not called deep state. It's literally called cryptocracy, right? Those are the secret societies that are controlling and ruling and running these governments. They know what these numbers is hitting for. They know what time it is. They know what's coming up. We don't. And they position themselves to take advantage of it, right? Luckily enough, the president or the standing president of Haiti said that he's not going to call in international aid and support yet until he knows what the level of damage is. You feel me? So the only thing, once again, that we can do is pray for Haiti, pray for the people of Haiti, right? And Jesus owes them niggas something. That's a whole nother conversation. Well, God damn it. How Jesus be holding DR down?
I think.
And those people have turned their back on their own traditional systems. But what has Jesus delivered in the form of protection of the family in Haiti?
I see. Yeah, you made a lot of people, man. Said, are you talking about spooky spirits instead of the ops. And I just want to make a quick comment before you respond, Blue. I think, me personally, Michael, and I feel you. Obviously, I can see why you would say that. I can understand that. But from my understanding, Michael, is that what we don't understand is that the ops work for the spooky spirits, quote unquote, spooky spirits. So when we see these motherfuckers answer to somebody.
Yeah. So, that's the tough talk, right? Yeah, I ain't give you nothing but receipts, and I'm not speaking emotionally. But what I'm saying is those spooky spirits, they wasn't spooky when they was utilized to kick the French out, right?
Facts.
So what are you talking about?
Talk to me.
So facts. You can't have it one way and not the other. But those spooky spirits got prices on them. It's a pack. The niggas have a price that has to be paid. So you can't have it one way and not have it the other. You feel me? You can't be selective about, how you render your victories. And you could lose a battle and lose a war, my nigga. You can win a battle and lose a war.
Right.
Right? Don't at me, please. I gave you my receipts. I showed you my methodology, and I walked you through it. Yeah. Right?
A lot of,
responsibility. I already know how that shit make niggas react.
Yeah.
Right? They start throwing things at you. Literally, physically, and spiritually. That's how upset they get. But like I said, I'm not taking no personal shots at nobody. And my thing is this, the whole conspiracy theory thing, again, it was implemented by the CIA because it renders you powerless. What are you going to do to the ops? You've never done anything to the ops, who you keep telling me is doing things to you that requires them to have spiritual consent. When are you going to get some redress on these people who are utilizing shit to go against spiritual people? Right? And because prior to this, when around the time 7/7, when they killed the Haiti president, all spiritual systems with melanated people was in turmoil. Cuba, Haiti, and goddamn Juvenile came out with vax that thing up. So there was turmoil there. Right? All of the melanated spiritual systems are under attack right now. And I said, somebody needs to find out what's going on in the Congo. Somebody needs to find out what's going on in Nigeria. And lo and behold, it was stuff going on over there too. As above, so below. Get out your feelings and do some research. Right? Pray on it. Ask your ancestors, you got a pendulum? Everybody, they want to clamor to blame the enemy, but what's the redress? How do you get him back? How do you get him off of the back of Haitians or other melanated people? You have a name? Can we knock on somebody's door? Can we drop a bag on them? Right? You can't do nothing. No, you talking about spooky spirits. No, you talking about spooky boogeymen. That you ain't never scratched. You can't even point a finger at them. So they're going to get away with this one too, right? And you are just left to watch and observe. That's what conspiracy makes people do. Wait for the next disaster so they can get their popcorn out. But nobody ever wants to do no citizens arrest. Nobody ever wants to put in no work, right? All of these spiritualists in the community, and you can't put a pact together to put no protection on none of these societies, communities, countries, or babies. Come on, son. That shit is weak.